We are rolling, okay? This is the main character podcast with your boy, Fly Guy Kai, aka the Captain, aka the main character. This is episode 18, and it's called Soul Guy. And if you can guess by the pic that I put up there, today's anime of the pod is Soul Eater. Normally when I choose these names, I like to choose a variation of whatever the anime is and my name, Fly Guy Kai, but I didn't know, because that's why I chose the soul part. If I chose the eater part, it was like, yo, Fly Eater? Fly Guy Eater sounds crazy. You know, the third option sounds real crazy. So I was like, you know what, let me just put the soul part. So you get Soul Guy. And I'm gonna give you the summary. But this is how we do. We checking on ourselves first. Then I'm going to get to the other stuff. And I'm going to lift this sometimes because for some reason, like, I'm working on a budget right now. Once I hit, like, am I going to put more into myself as far as, like, shooting these type of videos? Sure. But right now, you get this camera that I got off of TikTok for about, I think it was like 50 something. So, hey, listen, some of the stuff, TikTok be coming in handy. Like, this camera is cool, but it'll have choppy movements. So, like, if all you can do is, like, I don't do nothing spectacle-wise. So, if you just want to, like, just listen, I got you. You ain't missing no type of thing. You just looking at the background of manga and other geek stuff that I got. But, you want to see, you want to see the moneymaker. Why, thank you. But otherwise than that, we're going to get it rolling. We do the trifecta of checks. All right, we checking health. We're checking physical, spiritual, emotional. Let's get spiritual. You know how I am with spiritual. Okay? God in my corner constantly. Yes. Me and God, we cool. Me and Yahshua, okay? They want to call him Jesus. Call him by what his mama called him, Yahshua. So me and Yahshua, okay, Yahshua got my back. God got my back. I'm good spiritually. I love both of them. Not ashamed neither. A lot of people, they be kind of tiptoeing around it. Like, listen, I love God. I love Yahshua. That's it. Physical, I'm cool. I kicked calisthenics ass the first week, all right? I'm done with the first week, and today was a break day. Now, I won't be able to do the whole calisthenics for got a text for the whole week. My bad. But what I am gonna do, since I don't drive up to New Jersey until Tuesday, all I'm gonna do is just work out, do like a full body workout with like some weights and maybe small calisthenics. Or I might do one of the full body calisthenics I did the other day. But I'm going to go in the gym Monday. I'm going to try to push hard because I know for a fact taking this drive Tuesday is going to take me half a day. I know what the things say, but trust me, when I got to take them breaks, it's going to take me half a day to get up to New Jersey from South Carolina. That's Tuesday. Wednesday is a chill day where, I don't know, I'm just driving. I don't even want to drive around New Jersey because you're trying to drive around. It takes for fucking ever just to get somewhere. And I might just chill. Like, after taking that long drive, you really just be wanting to chill. I might take a walk around Branchbrook Park and, chill. Because Thursday, Turkey Day. Got some traveling to do. Okay, going up to New York, celebrating it with the fam. Friday is packing day because I got the other half of my stuff still in storage. Now, can I close storage on the same day? Probably not. So I'll probably get like one of my lovely brothers or sisters to close it out for me when I have to come back down here. Because I don't know if they got like a whole like, hey, 45 days in advance or something. Like, I don't know. So if anything, they're like, listen, I don't live in this state. I don't even live near this state. It takes me half a day to get up here. No, I'm not coming back just to do it myself. And yeah, because that Friday I'm doing that, and then Saturday, wake my ass up early, same time, I'm coming right back because that whole day I'm going to unpack my stuff. I just want to have all my stuff together, and then I officially feel like I'm living down here. Let's get into it. Anyway, with the whole health, physical health, cool. The calisthenics is treating your boy right. That HIIT exercise, when it make you feel like you want to throw up, you doing something right. You're breaking the limit. You're going plus ultra, okay? You are, there's like the ceiling that you kind of had right there, and you kind of hitting that ceiling, that first floor ceiling. You're getting to the second floor. So week is complete. Like I said, HIIT was revealing some stuff like, hey, I'm hitting myself like not as hard as I thought I was. And yeah, stuck through it. Mental, I'm good. I'm good. You know what I mean? Got me a little happiness going. Feeling better than most days. That's what I like. I like my high days. Catch me on a high day when I'm recording this. So it'll be good. All right, so we got that out the way. Now what I am going to do is bring to you, all right, my little description. My buddy, Soul Eater. All right. Now, Maka's a Meister, and Soul is her weapon. And they're a freaking lethal team in battle against the monsters and ghouls that feed on innocent souls. That's when Soul transformed literally into a razor-sharp scythe, and Maka wields her partner and unleashes her inner slayer. Fighting alongside their Meister weapon classmates, Maka and Soul are the world's last line of defense against evil. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. That is the summary of Soul Eater. If it sounds cool, if you never watched it before, which I don't expect everybody to have watched all the anime that I've watched. If you watched it, I mean, maybe this is your sign to go back, watch it again, because as I like to say, if there's an anime that you haven't watched in a long time, go back and watch it, because now you have a different brain. You have a different mindset of when you watched it versus now when you do a rewatch again. Because first time you watch it, you're looking at all the spectacles and stuff like that. Now you can watch it again to take in some of the information that maybe kind of fumbled out. Kind of get to like characters a little better, critique characters a little better, kind of have more discussed for certain characters or new discussed for certain characters. You never know. So rewatch your anime, then go talk about it. That's why not? What else you gonna do? So let me, and you know what? Let me keep it going. Like I said, I'm doing it old school. You can't read none of this chicken scratch. I don't know why I said chicken hand. No, I was gonna go down the rabbit hole and ask about if chickens have hands or not, but we're just gonna skip all that because why? And in relation, like Soul Eater, when you think about Soul Eater, it's just you finding, like you working with your partner and trying to find that level of frequency where you guys can not only communicate, but you guys can work together in perfect sync and transform. And you, like, it's like, yo, how do you, like, some people think like, oh, it's just anime, but no, like, if you think about it like that, in that sense, you find a partner, it could be whatever type of partner. You have to, in order for you guys to transform or transcend that relationship into something stronger and better, you have to you got to reverberate on the same wavelength. Okay, you gotta vibe, match the vibes. Okay, code a vibe, baby. Are you ready for the night? I randomly break out in the song sometimes as I'm getting more comfortable. Start to do it, but yo, you want to get somebody that's gonna vibe the same, because that's how things flow. Once things are flowing and everything's right, then that's how you transform it. You transcend it from where you guys previously were to something better. Okay, and you just think about that in all aspects. Like if you, like, say you working on a class project and you got this partner, you got to figure each other out, what you're strong at, what you're not strong at, who can handle what. And once you guys find that wavelength of like, okay, cool, so now we know what each other does for the project when we come together so we can complete it. You found your way, you found that sync, that perfect sync. And now you guys are getting better. And once you're better, you're all good from there. So real life, just with anything, like with people, just find the wave. Like be with people that are on the same wavelength. Okay, and don't just quickly dismiss somebody just because like they're not on the same wavelength from the start, because it's not going to happen from the start. Just take the time, see where the vibes are at, and if the vibes match up, it's green. If the vibes ain't matching up, no matter what, it's down. Vibe check. Mustard. My next topic, that Kendrick Lamar album. Kendrick Lamar came out with, and let me be particularly correct, Particular GNX album. Out of nowhere, just came up, was like boom. Yeah, y'all want an album? Here you go. You got it. What more can I say? I'm illin'. It's got 12 tracks on it. Of course, it's got the I like it, the squabble up, that snippet that he had in that first part of the They Not Like Us video. Everybody was like, yo, like that sound hot. Like, give us that song. And people was like, yo, where's that song? Where's that song? And he finally gave us the song on there. So that squabble up is fire. See, the TV off is fire too. Dodger Blue is like, okay. Peekaboo good too. But what I will say about the album is it's got, out of the 12, there's 5, if I'm not mistaken, because I checked off a whole bunch of stuff. There's 5 that are definitely fire to me and that I would play again on replay. Then there's about, I think there's about like 4 that I'm like, okay, it's some heat. I probably won't play it again, but I can acknowledge it for the fact that it's some heat. And then there are 3 that are just like, I get it. It's for the artistic part. Some of that, like a lot of songs on albums, like, oh man, I'm playing the album straight through nonstop. Like Kendrick really don't got albums like that. Like you're not playing it all the way straight through and not skipping. Maybe Damn was like that, and maybe Good Kid, Mad City. But otherwise than that, usually it's just like, oh, he'll have like an artistic piece in there, like some type of words or like something that's like not, it wouldn't match the vibe of some of the other songs, because there is more of a theme versus the vibe. The vibe is just like, okay, we keeping the same tempo in every song, and then the theme is just, it doesn't matter whether it's high beat, low beat, mid beat. It's just, it fits the overall theme of the album. So, and plus I'm not gonna hold you, it's not like super like, oh damn, like it's a Kendrick album, and you get what you expect from a Kendrick album. And this one is particularly for the West Coast, because it's definitely got that West, for people that was like, damn, we need that West Coast feeling back. He gave it to y'all. And some of the songs is particularly for West Coast people that are probably going to keep bumping and bumping and bumping. Now, shouts out to Green Lantern. A lot of people be doing the most when it comes to Kendrick Lamar, just because of this whole beef thing. And by the way, my favorite out of the big 3 is J. Cole, nonstop. So there's that. But ever since the big 3 thing, like, people got their sides. All right, you choose it. Okay, cool. People are still keeping it going, still trying to look for something. I've never seen this level of just being on someone's overall like back, like just riding them for the long. Like I have never seen this for Kendrick until this year when he did the whole beef thing. Otherwise than that, it wasn't like that. We would always champion Kendrick because it's like, oh man, all right, he dropped this album. Let's see. Okay, cool. Got nice tracks on. All right, cool, nice. But this, like, every time he drops some, you have to be an archaeologist and a rocket scientist and be in there and just Oh man, let's see if he did anything. Let's see. Oh, we can connect this. Some people be reaching. Some people will have 17 different dots, and he only said like 5 words. Like, oh, if you think this and this around this year is this, he released this song here, and also Drake released this song. So if you combine the two, he's meaning this. Like, it's not that. Like, dog. Like, all right, can we just get back to music? Like, all right, the beef happened. Kendrick won. If you don't think Kendrick won, you might be in a delusion state. And mind you, I listened to Drake first before Kendrick, and I love Drake with the melodies, and I will always say that. I've always had that stance way before Kendrick made it a little popular thing, cause it's true. I like Drake with the melodies. His mixtapes on it, my favorite is Little Bit. That's probably one of my favorite songs. Little Bit and Come Winter. 2 favorite songs from Drake. And those are both on mixtapes. Everything else is cool, but those are that's the Drake I like. Excuse me. But yeah, it like cool, the beef happened. Let's get back to the music. Kendrick, release your music. Cause I've also liked Kendrick for his mixtapes and Good Kid, Mad City. I used to play that constantly in the gym when I was back in Misawa Air Force Base, Japan. That was my gym. My gym playlist was Good Kid, Mad City. Bitch Don't Kill My Vibe, constantly playing. But nice little album. Cool. Got some nice songs on it. People are gonna try to say like, yo, ain't no skips on there, but brother, man. Sister, woman, whatever the other saying is for that. If I get in your car and you just play the parts where like it's just super duper artistic after just being super high and like everybody's just quiet, and you just like, you just repeating the words for like some like artsy artistic type of song, I might jump out the car. Like, dog, I'm taking the aux and I'm plugging my phone in. Stop it, please. And still shining the light on music. Ayo, J. Cole has put his mixtapes. He's got the clearances, because you got to get clearances for a lot of these things. J. Cole has put his mixtapes onto streaming services. People don't understand how big that is to get, because mixtapes are fire, and then you'll go to a mixtape site, but every now and again, there's a mixtape site that something may happen to them, or they may go down. Then you got to get a new mixtape app, look for the mixtapes, download those again. You have to keep doing this again and again and again. Well, now people are starting to put them on to streaming services, and now that you get it on streaming services, it's way better. Okay, it's just way better. And I hope he puts all of them out on there, because the Come Up mixtape was just like it is. It's like, yo, it's the Come Up. You can hear it in his voice, you can hear it in his raps. But the warm up, like the Come Up, okay, but the warm up, that's an actual warm. Like, oh yeah, Dead Presidents 2, Dead Presidents 2, Grown Simba, lights please, lights please, lights please, turn off the lights. Dollar in a Dream too, like, come on, man. Like, yo, hey, listen, I'll play his mixtapes through with maybe 1 or 2 skips. I'll do that with a lot of mixtapes, because sometimes they'd be like, okay, you're doing the most with these skits. Speaking of doing the most, is holiday season, people. This is holiday season. Once October happens, you know what's crazy? When people picture holiday season, it's more so Thanksgiving and Christmas, and then New Year's to end it off. But a lot of people will also count like Halloween, because it's like Halloween's cool, but Halloween's like the appetizer, just like, oh yeah, holiday season, it's starting to get a little colder out. Nah, you start getting towards Thanksgiving, you start getting towards the memes, you start thinking about the food that's getting ready to happen, whether you're by yourself, maybe you got like 1 or 2 friends, you having a Friendsgiving, you got a little small family, you're just doing that, or you got a whole big party that you're going to. Thanksgiving is hype, and we're starting to change, or we've been changed that. nobody gave a damn about Christopher. Well, I mean, nobody gave a damn about Christopher Columbus anyway. But we understand the original thing for Thanksgiving, which they was trying to, you know how the spicy whites try to do. It was like, yo, we was breaking bread with the Native Americans on some friendly type stuff. No, you wasn't. That's a genjutsu you've been putting on us in words for the longest time. We all know the history too much, so now we trying to just, Thanksgiving is just a day where, which we've been doing it for most of the time. I mean, my people have been doing it like that. Like, listen, Thanksgiving is just a day where we come together, give thanks for, you know, what we're thankful for and all the blessings we got. And then we come together, we eat some good food, we take a nap, you come back for seconds, you might take another nap. If you're dastardly, if you got the biggest back known to man, you know you sleeping and you gonna wake up again and you gonna go for that dessert. Now, what dessert y'all got? Do you got the sweet potato pie? Okay. And people don't like, do you got the pumpkin pie? Let me tell you something, okay? For the untrained taste buds, if you eat pumpkin pie, if you put pumpkin pie and sweet potato pie together, you put some whipped cream on top of it, people are gonna eat both. Some people are just doing it just for cultural clout. I never pumpkin pie. Yo, pumpkin pie is good. I'll say that. Yo, clip me for life. Pumpkin pie is good. Now, do I go directly to it? Nah. If there's sweet potato pie, I'm getting sweet potato pie with a splash of Cool Whip on top of it. I'm sweet potato pie, apple pie, Dutch apple pie, pumpkin pie. Okay, pumpkin pie is the fourth one. In fact, put apple pie a little bit over sweet potato pie. I'm sorry. I like apples, even though I'm allergic to fruits, nuts, and vegetables. We'll get on to that in a different podcast episode. Don't worry about that. Just know it gets real when it comes to eating that stuff. But yeah, holiday season is also a time where there will be people that have some ups and people that will have some downs. And it is a tough time for a couple of people because there is that time where maybe somebody has passed or they just passed and you're used to them either hosting or being a big part of the holidays, and now like maybe it's your first holiday without them, or even the second or even the third, because you can still feel it then where they're not here to celebrate the holidays. There's always a tough time for that, especially around Christmas. That's when the feels hit, because Thanksgiving is definitely one of them things, but Christmas, because you know you only seeing everybody, all your family members on two occasions realistically, because not even birthdays top these. It's Thanksgiving and it's Christmas. Okay, because even if you come by at the later point and y'all just like, oh, what y'all doing? And to my Spanish people out there that celebrate it on December 24th, because one of my exes, she was a part of Latinx, and they celebrated their Christmas on the 24th, not the 25th. I was just like, why don't you just wait till? No? Okay, cool. That's it. The 24th, that's it. But yeah, Christmas time, it's always good. Listen, okay? You Scrooges out there, keep you adults, keep the thing going, okay? Keep the thing going. And you know what the thing I'm talking about. The thing with Santa Claus, the thing with the Easter Bunny, the thing with the Tooth Fairy. Keep them things going. You gotta keep the Mangekyo Sharingan Ultimate Tsukiyomi thing going, okay? Because once it gets real, and there's no coming back from that. And for kids, like, let them have the veil, okay? Let them have the veil. Cause do you yourself remember the time before the veil was lifted in front of your eyes and you knew all the information? You can't, but you definitely know, like, yo, if I didn't know nothing about this and this, and I still like, yo, like this magical like all this magic, like if you still could like have a child's belief in it, be super happy around the holidays. Now people are just like, it's another. Like even me, I'm just like, it's a, Christmas cool. Christmas movies are fire, but otherwise than that, it's essentially another day, which it is. But you're not supposed to look at it like that around the holidays. But yeah, come on, man, keep the hope alive. Keep these traditions alive. Keep them going. Because kids only get but so much time to be kids. And they only get so much time to dream before they have to wake up, before they have to start living in reality. Like, oh man, this ain't it. Oh, this ain't it. This ain't it. My life's a lie. And these are the truths. And it's harsh truths. It's like, dog, let them do what they do, okay? Keep the spirit of holidays alive. It helps. And Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's, stay safe. Don't do the most. Do not do the most on any holidays, but when it comes to New Year's, you don't gotta drink till you're blacked out. That's not the whole point of New Year's. New Year's, you just celebrating because it's getting ready to be a new year. Okay, you gotta celebrate it like the people in Y2K was celebrating it. Because, for people that don't know, Y2K was a big thing. Y2K, people had this thing like, oh, the computers are going to go crazy. Electronics are going to go crazy. Everything's going to crash. It's going to be an apocalypse. Like a giant EMP or something is going to destroy all technology in the world. And we're just Mad Maxing it. And people were still partying up like, all right, if it is going to happen, then cool. We going to live it up until the ball drop. And the ball dropped, and what do you know? Just like every other day, it was a new year. Like, Happy New Year's, the year 2000. Back to work. I said, well, most people didn't have to go back to work. But for the people that got those jobs, you had to go back to work. You had the little hangover. You took a chance. Maybe you didn't go to sleep because you had to work in the morning. You was like, I'll risk it. Kudos to you, brave soldier. But yeah, don't do the most. Don't do the most. Don't, drink responsibly. I know it sounds like cliche or like it's whack. No, it's not, dog. Drink responsibly. Check on your friends and your peoples. Make sure they're not doing the most on New Year's or any time, but specifically New Year's. Because people like to do a lot. They don't like to check themselves. They don't want to be checked. Man, check them. Because, help bring them into the new year before they get stuck in the past year, all right? Enjoy the holidays as much as you can. And for those that really can't, especially for those that are in the military and, overseas, can't help it. Because that level, like, people don't understand, like, when you're at home, okay, you got to work on Christmas, but either you have to work the half of Christmas and the other half you go right home, or you have to celebrate, your stuff in the morning and then later on you're going to work. But for people that don't understand, like, in the military, like, you're away from your family because you'll be stationed, even if you're in the States, you'll be stationed away from your family. And you got to stick to those Zoom calls, or you got to stick to those like FaceTimes. You can't really just go out there and just drive by and see them or nothing like that. Unless you're like reserves, you kind of get lucky. But otherwise than that, no. I've had not a whole bunch, but I've had a couple, especially when I was in Korea and Japan, because they have this thing, right? I was in security forces. It was like, cool. You choose to either work Thanksgiving and you're off for Christmas, or no. We had something different because Thanksgiving, it was up in the air. Thanksgiving, you know what's funny about Thanksgiving? If you were working the gate, some type of gate, if somebody was having a Thanksgiving party, and then they kind of remembered like, oh, these people are working at the gate, so they would take whatever food that people really didn't want to finish, like, because people wouldn't eat a whole bunch of their food, but they would go to all the gates and be like, yo, we still got this food left over from our party if y'all want some. Hell yeah, get a plate, They like, yo, take as much as you want. This is from the party, man. Yo, I'm taking turkey legs and I'm taking macaroni cheese. I don't care if Sarah made it. I'm taking big scoops of that and I'm taking it with me. All right, I'm taking whatever they got, whatever stuffing, cornbread, stuffing, all that. So that was always fire. But no, we had a thing where it was either you work Christmas and you're off New Year's, or you were off Christmas and you work New Year's. So we kind of had that going, and that was kind of cool. Most of the time, because there would also be like a holiday party too. So if you were off, you could go to the holiday party, or if you were working, like if you were working mornings, you could go to the holiday party. Mids, you can maybe catch a little bit of it, but you gotta skedaddle. Swings, you was kind of missing it, but if it was going on until about like 12, then you could hurry up, get home, change, and then go to the holiday party. But even then, like the initial day, like say they don't have a holiday party or anything going on, and it's Christmas. Even if you're off, you're really just going to the chow hall, getting whatever Christmas food they have, and then you're probably going back to your room. If you're not chilling with your friends, unless they already took leave to go home because they got lucky. So yeah, holidays for people over there is hard, and holidays are even more hard when they're out there deployed. So yo, if you got people that are just like not even deployed but just overseas, and like they can't really get the normal holiday cheer that they want, just what I mean, check on them, send them a little something, just check on them, okay? Holiday blues, or holiday up and downs. Uh, Man, holiday blues. I'm thinking about writing blues. I'm okay. So I do the normal thing. I do writing, right? I said I had 16 different ideas, and that's true. 16 different ideas that be there that I'll put info in here and there. So what I wanted to do now was take those ideas, because they're kind of still separate, but I always see DC and always see Marvel and always thought like, yo, I want to make my own. Like, I want to be Dwayne McDuffie. Dwayne McDuffie made Milestone Comics, Milestone Universe. And if I haven't said it before, like, yo, that's the man that made Static. You know the cartoon Static Shock. He comes from the Milestone Universe, because you got Static, you got Icon, who's essentially just as strong as Superman. And you also have Ricochet's partner, and then you've got it was like a Tony Stark-esque type of person. Like, he looked weird as far as his like whole suit and get up and stuff, but it was like a Tony Stark type of person. You had like the Blood Syndicate, so it's very cool. And for him, it's just like, yo, he made this little universe, but it kind of caught the attention of DC, and DC like, yo, we'll put some of your characters in, and we'll work some stuff out where they can come to the comic book or come into the properties. And that's how you had like Static Shock with the Justice League members coming into the cameo, or Static will be in other projects with a brief cameo. I think they kind of did him dirty though. They kind of did him dirty, how he could like come out with his own comic books or something, and later on they got the rights back, and now they're starting a brand new wave of Milestone comic stuff. So that's what I kind of like. I want to be like, I just want to create my own universe for comics. And mine's is essentially going to be Phenom Comics, so it's going to be PC. And, which is, it's not going to be PC, but it's going to be PC. But it might be PC. If you get it, you get it. But yeah, I'm starting off with that. And what I'll do is I'll look up stuff like, okay, how do I want to start my universe off? And do I have, like, people who write so much to like bounce ideas off of, like my ideas off of, stuff like that? No. And what I'll do is I'll use the ultimate Google, which is ChatGPT. I don't use ChatGPT for like to do the work for me. I will use ChatGPT for research. Like, yo, I want to create a comic book universe like Marvel or DC. What are the steps? So you got to have your flagship hero, what settings you want to work on, the places, the time period. Then they went into like comic scripts, publishing. They went into stuff like that. But so far for me, it's like, no, I just want to write. How do I go about creating my own? Like, just at that part, just making the heroes know, like, cool. flagship hero, maybe you want an anti-hero, maybe you want a group that you want to focus on, and maybe a good villain, big antagonist that maybe draws them in all together. And my flagship hero is Sire, which is Albert Englewood, the young 16-year-old black kid. He's actually half black, half Jamaican. So I kind of didn't want to just say, oh, no, he's just black. Like, I kind of wanted to do that for a little, a little something. But he's got that. He's in a nice little house, I would say. Nothing crazy, nothing super big, no. He's got both parents. He's got an older brother. And I called it Westlight City because I wanted to use fictional cities. Because using real cities is just like, I don't know. Like, everybody's kind of done it. So I kind of wanted to make like like in substitute of some of those cities. I kind of wanted to maybe add on another one. So I chose him coming from West Light City as kind of like the opposite of East Light City to take place in New York. But it's like East Light City is sort of the main capital. Not the main capital, but the beacon on the East Coast. Because you know the beacon on the East Coast and the beacon on the West Coast. On the West Coast, it's California, specifically LA. On the East Coast, it's New York, specifically New York City. So I wanted to have an East Light and a West Light. I don't know which one I want him to be from because personally, I'm from the East Coast, so I would have more of a feeling there. But I kind of wanted to do it on the West Coast because we normally have Marvel has a big thing on New York. Most of the things that happen, they happen in New York. And with DC is kind of different because DC kind of like, I don't think it really focuses on anything except for Gotham, and focuses on Gotham, and then it focuses on where Superman's at. Superman could be, Gotham is more so like New Jersey or New York, like the dirty parts. And where Superman's at, Superman, his thing could be like, I don't know, it could be like a bright side of New York, but it also could be somewhere like Philadelphia or, some type of big city, like they say, like some type of big city in like a Midwestern type of town. But I kind of wanted to do this one to focus on like maybe a different part that no one really touches. Like, of course, they have the West Coast Avengers, but the flagship for my hero to be on the West Coast, that would be something different. And then when you have to look up stuff, it's like, okay, how do you want these villains? Like, well, these villains have to on a power level kind of challenge him, like his strength, or I have him with telekinetic abilities, so challenge him on that. Then there's philosophical things that they got to challenge him on. Then there's themes that maybe the villains have that kind of not so much challenge him, but it's just for the villains. Like, it's just like, what theme do they fit? And then also some groups. Like, normally you have the usual. There's humans that are scared because now they're super powerful people and they're not at the apex anymore. They're not at the top of the food chain. You've got people who want to experiment on anyone who's special, or people who want to expose them. You have secret societies that have always been around or that is starting to come to light because of incidents. You got aliens, advanced technology, magic, mutants in some sort of way. Marvel has mutants, DC has metahumans. Mine, I just call them phenoms. That's all. You always hear like, oh, he's a phenom, like that type of thing, like phenoms, which like Marvel, because Marvel is short for like marvelous. Phenom is short for phenomenal, but for phenoms, it's like phenomenon, or like it's like phenomenal beings, phenomenon type of being, stuff like that. But phenom for short kind of sounds cool for me, and it's a way to not be so close to metahumans or mutants. And that's about it. As far as like, I'm working on the villains. I'm working on the time period, which I kind of want it to be present day, because if you think about when those comics started out, they started out around their time. Like DC and Marvel, they started around the 50s or whatever, and then got to getting to where they're getting to. Ultimate Marvel, they kind of, when they sort of redid it because it's a whole different universe, they kind of did it as like a present day thing where things are just starting out now. So I kind of want to do it like that in a way, but I'll see. And speaking of comics, yo, absolute DC fire. You got a ground level Batman. You got I'm not gonna hold you. You got like a more badass looking kind of Wonder Woman, and then you have more of a you have a different Superman who he doesn't show up this shining, I got my hair cut, look at my muscles type of hopeful kind of guy. You've got somebody that has actually lived on Krypton, so he was old enough because he left as a child. He was old enough to see and experience being with his family and knowing about Krypton, and then having to still have the usual, oh, the planet's exploding, we got to send you away and come to Earth, and then you have to do all that. Having that and then coming to here and trying to instill hope when he just left somewhere that was, you know, that was his home, and trying to establish it here and trying not to have this planet end up like his planet, like stuff like that. Like it's coming together pretty good. I like the direction that it's going. I think it's only up from there. I tried to get that comic book. I tried to get Batman #1. And when I went to the guy, he was like, I sold out. I didn't order too many because there was something that happened before in DC Comics. It was a run and it wasn't really selling like that. So he was like, yo, you fooled me once, that's it. And I ordered too many comics of those. So this one, he kind of took the safe route, didn't order too many, and he ran out. And he said he ran out in the morning. I'm like, dog, I'm just trying to get the #1 real quick. You know how good the #1s are. That whenever you get a comic book and it's a #1, if it turns out to be fire, instant money. And not only instant money, it turns out to be fire and you hold on to it. And you see how the story progresses and it gets more fire. People remember like, yo, like, remember when Batman was like, he wasn't rich. He was like this 6'5" engineer that was super ground level and yet still used his mind to go and be Batman, and the villains were kind of different, and having that, you talking about money. People still get money from Charizard, the original Charizard holographic that came out in 1999. I could kick myself for throwing out my Pokemon cards and my Yu-Gi-Oh cards. Every time I've had cards, you people get in your mind and like, hey man, you know, we throw out our cards now. We're teenagers. That's why every time I see something, I'll comment like, yo, if I see like kids collecting like cards or something like that, yo, don't throw those out. If you get tired of them, go lock them up somewhere. You'll thank me later when your pockets are, when you got some feta in there. And as far as my creation part, I've been thinking about, I would love to make a trading card game or collectible card game. And I did some, you talk about doing some research. Like I did some, like I was looking at these right here, like the Dragon Ball Z card game that came out, and the Magic the Gathering, because I like how the Magic the Gathering kind of has its universes set up, and I was using it for story stuff. But I also wanted to do a little collecting myself with Magic the Gathering cards. I don't know how to play. I know loosely how to play the game, but I'm not big into playing the game. I just want to collect some of the stuff. But it's between that, Yu-Gi-Oh, and like just doing the research on rarities, descriptions on the card, what the card would look like, the extra cards. Like, you know how Yu-Gi-Oh has magic, trap, creature cards, ritual, stuff like that. Like I've been looking, and I've been trying to think of something, but you know what I mean? I'm just me. So I don't know. But I would love to be that next Magic the Gathering or that next Yu-Gi-Oh. Pokemon's a beast on itself. Like Yu-Gi-Oh's a beast, Magic the Gathering beast, but Pokemon is a fucking monster. Literally a monster. Like you got not only the trading card, like the show will always be the show. And the show was cool, but that's not why people go for it. It was the game. And I'm talking, I was there when Pokemon Blue came out and you could play it on the big ass gray Game Boy. And it had no color. It was just the pixel monsters, and Geodude didn't really look like Geodude then. A lot of the Pokemon didn't look too much like the Pokemon now. And to see it go from that to what we got now, where you can damn near have a free world type of adventure game where you can see the Pokemon like in full model, and they have their sounds and they interact, and sometimes they follow you. Like, but creating a card game off of that where you have something like a Charizard. These cards are only this big and thin. But if you were able to get a holographic Charizard or then some, or holographic Blastoise, or holographic Venusaur from 1997 or 98, whenever the cards came out, and you kept it in pristine condition, you'd be sitting on $500,000 for a card like this, piece of paper. It's made completely out of paper. 500,000. Will I understand it? No. But do I understand commas and zeros? Absolutely. But yeah, it would be fun. One Piece came out with their collectible card game, I think for like the second time. A lot of these things, they'll make card games for a while, and then they'll try something new, and they'll make like a different card game. I don't know, maybe just to spice it up, or maybe they thought of something different. It was like, you know what? Let's go this route, or let's go with this company and see what they want to do with the property. I want that to be your boy. It's gonna be comic books, it's gonna be trading card games, or it's gonna be both. If I get my comic book universe to be just as popular, then, and it's gonna take some years, but I'm here for it. And the last thing I want to talk about is because I just did a Harry Potter rewatch. I normally do my Harry Potter rewatches, okay? It's a yearly thing. Sometimes it's multiple times a year. But one of those special things, Harry Potter and the Fantastic Beasts are now involved with it, which, for what it's worth, Fantastic Beasts does add on, like, it broadens, instead of just dealing with Harry Potter and just being at Hogwarts, it kind of broadens it and takes you outside of Harry Potter. Like, oh, we're in America. Hey, there's magic people in America. There's these creatures that we've seen Hagrid introduce them like here and there, but to see someone actually show you the creatures and care for the creatures like a zookeeper type of person, it's pretty dope. But rewatching Harry Potter is always good, because either I'll miss something, because a couple of times I'm just like, wait a minute, oh yeah, and it's just good to actually, once you've seen the movie all the way through, you go back and you rewatch it again in order and be like, okay, that's where that started. And not only that, looking at the characters, not just the growth of the characters from, like, not the main ones, not just Harry and Hermione and Ron, but a lot of the characters in the background. Because the dope thing about Harry Potter is they kept a lot of the background characters in the movie. Like, with each movie, they just brought them back. So for 10 years, it was like, yo, you don't have to worry about too much, because you know you're coming back for another Harry Potter movie. So 10 years, you was good. For these 8 movies, don't worry about it, bro. You got some money coming in. You got an acting gig, okay? But to see the characters in the background growing up, and to see my boy Snape got a bad rap, but he was just the anti-hero of it all. If you know anything about it, because there's heroes, Harry Potter, then you got anti-heroes, which is Snape. And Snape was the guy. And Snape hated Harry's father to the T. And when they finally show the flashback, you get to see why. Like, Harry Potter's father was a dickhead. He was a dickhead. Like, Snape was there for Lily in the beginning when she was getting teased, and they were just like cool. And you know what I mean? He went to a different house. Of course, Snape was in Slytherin and she was in Gryffindor, but he still tried to keep like things going. And then of course here come James Potter, dog, putting the moves, being a dickhead, 2-year friend, and you was like, you know what? I want that. And they end up getting married and having a kid. Snape's like, man, even then when like if they were part of the Order and Snape found out like, oh, Voldemort's going after them too, it's like, yo, you gotta help her. And, help out the father and son too, but help Lily. Like, he cared deeply about Lily. Dumbledore like, don't worry, I got you. Didn't even protect them. It's like, oh, I'm sorry, you put your faith in the wrong person. Dumbledore is a funny character, and I like the switch that they did. I know I've always watched it just like, oh yeah, look at the switch. But yeah, after like the Dumbledore between the first and second movie and the rest of the movies, like the one from the rest of the movies had more oomph, like more spunk. Like he made the role of Dumbledore that much. I don't know, that much more grand. He brought more energy to the role, so that was always good. So yeah, that rewatch. And doing that rewatch, like you get to see the kids grow up, and you realize like, yo, just look at how time works. You've seen Harry when he was just a little boy, just growing up, sleeping under the stairs with a lock on the door. If he had to go to the bathroom in the middle of the night, it was like, no way. Seeing him go from that to then when he was like now, like a father, sending his kid off to, he sent his kid off to Hogwarts. Like, man, it was good. The real question, though, I've always felt like it was like Christmas time type of movies. But the real question, though, is it a Christmas time type of marathon movie, or is it in like a Halloween type of thing? Because I don't know, it's got too much of a good feel for Halloween. But for Christmas, like you only get like a few spotlights of Christmas in the first couple of movies, and then afterwards just, oh, it's winter. I personally think it's good around Christmas, especially that first one. Happy Christmas, Harry. Happy Christmas, Ron. And with that, ending it on a note of Harry Potter, Dream. So yes, that is the end of episode 18 of the Main Character Podcast with your boy, the Captain and Main Character Fly Guy Kai. Please like the video, comment, subscribe, share the video. You watch it all the way through, thank you. You know what I mean? Give me a little subscription. Each subscription helps bring my confidence up just that much more. Now, regardless if like masses of people watch this, am I still going to keep making videos just like I do on TikTok? Absolutely. You can't stop a creator. Creation is the closest thing to godliness. It's not cleanliness. No matter how clean. Some of the evilest people got all white suits, got all tailored suits on. They're super clean. What would they say? Dressed to the nines. And they'll still do some evil cutthroat shit. But creativity, you're talking about being close to God, the biggest creator, it's creativity. So be creative in whatever. You doing, I don't know, whatever content. There's an audience for everybody. I'm not joking. Not just anime, particular anime. Not just food, particular food. Working out, writing, reading a certain book, watching a certain TV show, dogs, cats, pets, certain things you do in your house, how you fix your house, patio furniture, which car, things to do with your car. Like there's an audience for everything. So just make the content. There's the internet is such a boundless place. Just make the content, put the info out there, and people that flock to it. And I hope they do. I hope there's enough money for everybody. I know it don't look like it. I'm talking about earning potential. There's enough earning potential for everybody that puts in the work. You got to put in the work. Equivalent exchange. I said it in like one of my early videos about equivalent exchange, the law of equivalency. In order to get something, you have to put something of equal value in. So you want to be the next Kai Cenat or the next Jinxie or the next I don't know, Aiden Ross or whoever else is out there. Like you want to be the next those guys, you got to put in the work. Even if and people will say it like, yo, even if no one's watching, you still have to put in the work. Even if you only get 1 view, 2 views, 10 views max on all your videos and whatever platform, whether you're recording videos on here, You're doing it on Twitch. You're doing it on TikTok. Even if only a couple people like it or subscribe or something, you still got to keep going, because eventually something's going to hit. And when something strikes gold, you got it. But not necessarily like, oh, you made it. It's just, you're catching on. Like, okay, something hit gold once. Like, let's try to hit gold again, until the point where you keep hitting gold. And eventually you just, get you a little diamond. And that's it, all right? I'll catch y'all later. On the next episode will be episode 19. As always, okay, the key to life is not just working out. It's not just eating right. It's not just drinking water. But it's also minding your business. Because if you don't mind your business and you worry about everybody else, it's going to show on your face.